Dear Dhamma devotees, today is the third Dhamma Talk of the Vasana season 2025. The topic is a very interesting topic. So it is about the Buddha's approach about teaching, actually, or what we can say free inquiry. So it's something like we are interested in, very interested in these days, about like how to approach something, how to teach something. So you can see this is like also you can connect with what we can say scientific approach for something. How you can make a judgment on your own. So we have an interesting topic today about that. So you can learn more about it, and at the end you can ask questions about that. And today's Dhamma Talk is sponsored by Aruna and Bhagya family. So thank you very much for that. So without further ado, I would like to give my mic to Bhante Panyasara.
Okay. Good evening to all of you. Dear Dhamma friends, today we are going to start third Dhamma session of Vasana season or rainy retreat. Before starting our Dhamma session, please bring your hand very close to the hand and say sadhu 3 times. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Now I am going to invite to all the deities who wish to listen Dhamma by reciting stanza. Please listen. Samantha Chakravalesu Atra Gaccantu Devata Sandhammang Nirajas Sunantu Sakka Mokkadang Dhammat Savana Kalo Ayang Badanta Dhammat Savana Kalo Ayang Badanta Dhamma savana kalo ayang bhadanta. Now I'm going to worship to our great teacher. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato Samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato Samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato Samma sambuddhassa. As our Mr. Udita mentioned about today's topic, I think you may have some idea about topic because who explained the beginning of the session. Actually, our topic is like spiritual freedom and how to enter to Sarsana, or how to practice Buddhism or Buddha's approach. Like that we can think in that way. So therefore, what's the freedom of Buddhism like that? Because we are doing so many things on behalf of freedom. If we don't have religious freedom, why should we follow religion? Then we should have freedom to follow any religion. If some religion do not guide to freedom, we don't want to follow that religion. Therefore, now I'm not going to say, please follow Buddhism, or Buddhism is the only one and only religion in the world like that. But I hope to explain something regarding Buddhist approach to sasana, or if somebody want to practice, who can get some idea and who can practice them. Then, first of all, we need to understand what is spiritual freedom like that. In Buddhism, spiritual freedom, it can be introduced like Ceto Vimukti. That's the real definition. Spiritual freedom means Ceto Vimukti. That means liberation of the mind. It's not just about external independence, but about inner liberation from suffering, delusion and attachment. True freedom is achieved through wisdom, ethical conduct like sila and meditation, samadhi, leading to nibbana or the ultimate liberation. I think now you can understand, if somebody want to achieve freedom in some circle of journey or circle of samsara, you need to practice like wisdom or panya, sila, morality, as well as you have to practice meditation. Then only you can achieve higher result in Buddhism. Then now I am going to explain what are the barriers to spiritual freedom. Because when you practice Buddhism, we have so many barriers. In nowadays, in the current society also, we have a religious authority, we have a religious belief system. Therefore, please forget all the authorities and other things. Focus your attention to your target first. If you maintain only authority or culture, what will happen for your spiritual path? Yes. Then, first of all, you have to relax your mind from the religious barriers. If you have religious barriers, you can't find liberation or peace, whatever thing. Yes. The first thing is you need to focus. What you want from the religion. The spiritual freedom is the liberation of the mind from suffering, ignorance and attachment. Then however, we have several barriers which prevent this realization. According to Buddhist teaching, the main obstacles include, so then I am going to explain several barriers. If you want to practice Buddhism, first of all you need to understand the barriers of your mind, not outside barriers. You have barriers in your mind, own barriers. Then you need to understand all the barriers, then only you can practice Buddhism. Like the first one is ignorance. Ignorance meaning lack of wisdom like that. lack of understanding of the Four Noble Truth, like that. If you don't know about the Four Noble Truth, what's the Four Noble Truth? I think you know really that. It has good solution for everything we can practice in our day-to-day life. Like Four Noble Truth mean like a four theory. Truth of suffering. That first of all we need to understand the reason. Like that. The incident you need to understand. And cessation. The reason. Second, first of all you need to understand the problems. Then you need to follow reason. That's the second theory. Earlier I mentioned ignorance or avijja means lack of understanding of the Four Noble Truth. The Four Noble Truth is that we should know, we have to identify something plus or problems like that. Then you need to find the solution. Then what is the second one? Third one. Third one is, you need to find solution like that. The beginning you need to understand the problems, then reason and solution. And finally, you have to practice solution. Then only you can solve any problems, whatever you have. That is called Four Noble Truth or Four Theory in Buddhism. If somebody has lack of understanding or lack of knowledge of Four Noble Truth, who has spiritual barrier, then try to avoid avijja or ignorance from your mind. And second, craving or attachment, we call that tanha. Everybody knows about that, no? We have a nice topic, upcoming topic. On that day I'm going to explain in details, but here simply try to understand the next barrier is in our mind, craving or attachment. Desire for material things, relationship and sensory pleasures. Then you need to eradicate craving and attachment. I think you remember that already I have explained two theory, no? If you want to be a spiritual man, or if you want to enter to the teaching of the Buddha, first of all you have to avoid or eradicate avijja. What is the second one? Craving and attachment, or craving or attachment. The third one, the five hindrances, which is called hindrance, you know that meaning. Pancha Nivarana, it is called in Buddhism, Pancha Nivarana. These mental defilements prevent deep concentration and wisdom. That's the problems, no? This is very important. If somebody can understand the five hindrances, actually who can practice anything. While you are listening Dhamma, five hindrances come to your mind. And while you are meditation, five hindrances come to your mind. Then always this mental defilement prevent deep concentration and wisdom. And if you want to get spiritual freedom to your mind, please avoid five hindrances. And already I have mentioned three teachings. Please avoid, eradicate avijja, ignorance. Second one, craving and or attachment. And third one is five hindrances. 5 hindrance means you have 5 things to remove or eradicate. What are they? Yeah, sensual desire, which is called in Buddhism Kama Chanda. Attachment to pleasure. We have 5 senses. Eye sense, nose, body, like that. By using our 5 senses, we are searching something. We are searching the 5 objects from outside. We have 5 senses in our body. By using those 5 senses, we are searching something which is called like objects. By using our eyes, what we can find? Yeah, 4. Then by using our nose, what we get? Bad smell and good smell, like that. By using our mouth, like that, we find something which is called Kama Chanda, sensual desires. We need something, but if you follow only that, what will happen? You cannot practice spiritual observations like that. Then please try to avoid the sensual desires. What else? Ill will, vyapada, anger, hatred, like that. If you have anger, hatred, can you practice anything? No, you can't. Here, hatred, ill will meaning you are not going to kill anyone. That's meaning if you reject the spiritual path, that is called like hatred. That meaning you don't like. If you don't like to spiritual path, you are not going to practice. That meaning if you reject something, that meaning you have hatred. Then eradicate hatred from your mind. Next one, salt and torpor, lack of energy. When you listen Dhamma, you may have a lack of energy, no? Yeah. Which is called in Buddhism, virya, no? Viryena dukkhaṃ accheti. The effort is the essential teaching to avoid anything. You should have good energy to listen Dhamma. Otherwise, you cannot practice Dhamma. And so far I'm talking 5 hindrances. Okay? And then next one, restlessness and worry, which is called uddhacca kukkucca, mental agitation, like overthinking. Now you are sitting here, but you can imagine so many things, so many thoughts you have. Then Buddha advised to us, don't think like think meaning don't think meaning we have done so many things, so many bad things sometimes, but don't try to again and again remind that. It's unnecessary. Past is past. Atitan nama socheya. Don't cry and don't think too much about the thing that you have done past. Because past is past. You can't change. You can think only. You can think, but you can't change. What else? The Buddha, again, Nappa Jappaminagatam, we have somebody sitting here, but you imagine so many things. I will do this, I will do this, like that. But that is also unnecessary thoughts. What you have to do is, focus the now, current moment. Please keep your mind in this moment. That's the only way. If you can practice that, you can achieve all other things. Whatever you want, the thing is you have to focus your attention to current moment. No any other solution. Then if you have a restlessness and worry, like uddhacha kukkucha, you are thinking many things, but you don't pay your attention to your activity, like spiritual path.
But you're supposed to.
Yes. Thank you. Then the final one, doubt or vichikiccha. If you have some doubt regarding your teacher, you don't like to practice Dhamma, then please eradicate doubt. Then only you can confidence with the Dhamma and you can practice Dhamma. Uncertainty about the path, that is called doubt or vichikiccha. Then already I have explained you. I already have you to explain three things. No, the first thing is ignorance. If you have a lack of understanding about Four Noble Truth, you don't have a religious freedom, spiritual freedom. And if you have a craving and attachment, you don't have a spiritual freedom. And if you have a five hindrance, you cannot practice Buddhism. You cannot enter into the spiritual path. Then another thing, ego and pride. We call that mana. Seeing oneself as superior, inferior, or equal in a way that reinforces self-identity.
You are the ego.
Yeah, we think I am the superior one. Likewise, we always going to promote our teacher by saying this. Our teacher is the greatest teacher in the world, like that. Omnipotent, omniscience, all knowing, all kind. We promote our teacher. But Buddha totally rejected that. You don't want to promote me. You have to practice Dhamma. That's the only thing that you have to do. Don't try to promote myself. Like by saying omnipotent, omniscience. You don't want to promote in that way. The only thing that you have to do is practice Dhamma. Please reduce your ego. That's the only way that you can practice Dhamma. And what else? Fear, attachment, view. That is called ditthi. Fear, attachment to view. Ditthi. Fear or letting go of conditioned belief, climb to religious, political or philosophical view without direct experience. Then we have several kind of philosophical ideas. That is why every time I say Buddhism is not a philosophy or a religion. The Buddhism, beyond Buddhism, exists beyond both philosophy and religion. Yeah, and nature practice, that is realistic teaching in the world. Then, if you have a ditthi or a fear or attachment to view, you are struggling with so many idealistic things. Then try to avoid that. Then, lack of ethical conduct, sila, meditation, mindfulness, like that. If you don't practice sila or morality, meditation, you have a religious barrier, you have a spiritual barrier. Then already I have mentioned several barriers. You explain that ignorance, craving and attachment, five hindrance, ego and fear, attachment to will, and lack of ethical conduct. Those are the spiritual barriers. The Buddha didn't has not promulgated any barriers, but we are the person, we have created barriers. Buddha did not give any commandment. You have to follow only my teaching like that. But we are the person, we have created our own dictate or own barriers. Then, how we can overcome those barriers? Already I have mentioned several barriers like ignorance, craving, attachment, five hindrance. Then how you can overcome? You have only three methods. If you practice these three methods, you can overcome all the barriers. And you can be a spiritual man. And you can practice teaching of the Buddha. And you can get approach to the Buddhism like that. The first one is Sila. Sila means cultivated ethics to purify action and thoughts. If you practice Sila, 5 precepts, 8 precepts, 10 precepts like that, if you have a moral, ethical life, you are the person, you can create your life. And also, practice meditation to calm the mind, and you can practice meditation. Then only you can release from religious barriers. And Panya, develop wisdom through learning and reflection. These three teachings are very essential to overcome all the religious barrier and spiritual barriers. Then try to practice Sila, morality, Samadhi, concentration, and Bhavana, meditation, Panya, wisdom. Please try to practice. Then, furthermore, you can understand what is real spiritual freedom. There was a very nice story or sutta in Anguttara Nikaya, which is called Kalama Sutta. I think you have heard that. This is very popular sutta in Buddhist canon. Canonically speaking, Kalama Sutta is the rational teaching, rational sutta, and it has rational teaching methods. Then there was a group called Kalama. They came to meet Buddha, then asked the question. Kalama visited to many places. They met so many religious leaders. Then after coming in front of the Buddha, they said, Bhante or Tathagata, we have visited so many places around in this area. Then we asked the question from them, what is the truth? What is the real teaching? Who is the great teacher? What is the great teaching methods that we can follow? Like that, we ask several questions regarding religion. Everybody said the same answer. Same thing, they have said same thing. They said only same thing. What did they say? Yeah, our teaching is the best teaching. Our teacher is the greatest teacher in the world. Our path is the greatest path in the world. Our scriptures is the greatest scriptures in the world. Like that, they are going to say they are the superior one in the world like that. Everybody say the same thing. Then what should I follow? Because if you assume that if there are 20 teachers, you ask what is the greatest teaching or what is the real teaching in the world, everybody say our one is the best one like that. Then yeah, which one you can pick? You are going to confuse, no? You are going to be confused. Then finally they came in front of the Buddha. Think about that. If Buddha give the same answer, what will happen? He used the sand. He also going to be one of them. But Buddha had a nice answer for that. Yadatum me kalama attanava janiyata. Kalama, you have to understand by yourself. But don't understand, it is not it has a, if you need to understand, you have something to follow like that. The Buddha say, if you know something, if you can understand something, just you follow. But you have to follow, you have to understand those theories. Then Buddha gave 10 theories. Kalama, if you want to follow any religion in the world, the Buddha didn't say, my religion is the best religion, you need to follow my religion like that. Buddha gave some solution for them, which is called freedom from blind faith. Buddha advised the Kalamas not to accept teaching based on, what are they? Anusava, oral tradition. Oral tradition meaning you can understand oral tradition. We practice something orally, then we teach that to our next generation. They also bring that for the next generation like that, but we don't know it is follow through. We don't know that. But however, they are practicing. They are believing. But they don't know it is correct or wrong, but just they believe because of oral tradition. Then Buddha said, don't depend on oral tradition. And parampara, lineage. We have good lineage, no? Then sometime if our mother or our father, if they have a good capacity, good education background, because of your lineage, sometimes you believe. But Buddha say, don't depend on lineage or parampara. Next one, ititiraya, hearsay. We have heard something, no? Then we follow. We think that this is, sometimes we think this is true, like that we follow. And Pitaka Sampadana, scriptures. We have religious scriptures. Every religion has religious scriptures. But we don't know it is true or not. Sometimes there are some late addition too. There are some late addition. Then we need to identify that. Some teaching has been included later, because because by considering the current situation, someone added something later. It may happen. Yeah, depending because of the culture. But we need to identify that. We need to understand that. Then don't believe because of your scriptures. Then, and also takka hetu, logical reasoning. Some people has good capacity. They can argue. They have good speaking skills. They can argue. Then we think if somebody win the game, we think, yeah, he is the superior one. Then whatever he say, we believe, we follow. That is a wrong following system. Then don't depend on logical reason. And naya hetu, inference. And akara paragitakkena, superficial appearances. Some religious leaders, look good, no? They have good appearances. They are very high and they have handsome body, smile, and they have good capacity. They are very strong. Then we think he is the superior person. Then we have to follow like that. But Buddha say, don't depend on that. Superficial appearances. And agreement with personal views. I have personal philosophy. I follow some religious teaching. I read some religious scriptures. Then I have built up my own view by using religious teaching. But I don't know it is correct or wrong. But according to my philosophical matters, I practice something, I believe something. That meaning you don't want to believe my ditti only, my view only. But I can preach even this sermon also. You can believe or you can reject. That's the freedom of Buddhism. If I have achieved so many degrees, you don't want to follow me. Because you are also an educated person. You also have a capacity. Then nobody, there is no, then agreement with personal views mean everybody has a different kind of philosophy, but you are the person, you can identify, but the thing is you need to listen first. You have to listen first, and now after that you can investigate. You can think more and more, then after that you follow. And next one, seemingly convincing reasoning. Don't depend on that. And Samano no Garu, last one, respected for a teacher. Somebody follows some teacher, then they believe only their teaching methods. Whatever they say, they believe. We don't know it's correct or wrong. They say, the number of people engage with him, that is why we are following like that. But how you can identify whether it is wrong or good or bad, it is wrong or correct? How you can understand what is your scientific methods, or what is your methods to identify that? Then don't depend on respect for a teacher, but you have respect is another thing. But if because of your expectation, if you believe his methods, whether it is wrong or correct, without considering that, if you follow that because of your teacher, it is not a good way to find your spiritual teacher. Teach something from teacher, but don't follow if some teacher says the wrong path. Then Buddha gave 10 theories to cultivate your wisdom or cultivate your belief. Then freedom from belief faith, you need to practice, you need to understand the teaching that I have mentioned. Instead, the Buddha encouraged personal investigation, reasoning and direct experience. Earlier I mentioned 10 theory. The Buddha said, don't depend on oral tradition, line 8, hearsay, scriptures, logical reasoning, inference, superficial appearances, agreement with the personal views, and seemingly convincing reasoning, and respect for a teacher. Don't depend on that. Instead of that, the Buddha encouraged personal investigation. Come and see. We have Dhamma has one quality called come and see, ehipassika. You have to come to Buddhism, but you don't want to believe. But you have to come and you have to practice. And you can see the difference. And investigate that. And reasoning and direct experiences. Buddha accepted that. And Buddha said, Manussavena ma paramparaya ma itikiraya. Don't go by tradition, by lineage, by hearsay. Please investigate and find some reasoning like that. You need to make your path. This teaching promotes freedom from dogma and reliance on wisdom. Next, freedom through ethical living. If you practice Dhamma, you have a freedom in your ethical life. After rejecting blind faith meaning I earlier mentioned what is the blind faith. If you follow oral tradition like that, that is the blind faith. The Buddha advised examining teaching based on their effect. If belief or action leads to greed, hatred or delusion, it should be abandoned. That's the blind faith. If some teaching guides to greed, hatred and delusion, please, it should be abandoned. And if a belief or action leads to compassion, wisdom and peace, it should be followed. That's the only theory. You don't forget all the things. Now I have mentioned a lot of things. No? I think you have two theories to remember. One is if a belief or action, belief meaning if you are teaching, or if you are teaching or belief, action leads to greed, hatred or delusion, then what you have to do is it should be abandoned, rejected. That's the only thing. If a belief or action leads to compassion, wisdom and peace, it should be followed. That's the only thing that is a religious freedom. Then you can identify if whatever your teacher say, whatever your religion say, don't follow. Please try to investigate. It is guide to greed, hatred or delusion, or compassion, wisdom and peace. Try to understand that. If it follow the good way like compassion, wisdom and peace, then you can follow. That's the only thing, only way that you can accept the religion. And Buddha said that Yam tam tumhe kalama attanava jahaniyat. Whatever you know for your lives to be wholesome, blameless, praised by the wise or admired by the wise, and leading to benefits and happiness should be practiced. Then that was the advice of the Buddha to Kalama. Because Kalama already visited so many places, everybody said the same answers, then they were really upset. That's why they came in front of the Buddha. They asked the question, how to select the new approach, or how can I select the real spiritual freedom? Then Buddha gave solution for that. Don't follow any religious authority like, don't depend on oral tradition, hearsay, like that. Don't depend on that. Please try to understand it is good or bad, like that. Then that's why he said, if a belief or action leads to greed, hatred, or delusion, should be abandoned. If a belief or action leads to compassion, wisdom, and peace, it should be followed. Then freedom through direct experience. You can get experience, and direct experience we have. Dhamma has good quality called ehipassika. Buddha is not about believing, about experiencing. The Buddha invited to people test his teaching, like gold being tested by fire. It is called Pali Ehipassika, come and see for yourself. This teaching encourages self-exploration, particularly through meditation, rather than relying on external authorities. Freedom from fear and anxiety. The Buddha reassured the Kalamas that by practicing ethical conduct and mindfulness, they would experience peace regardless of metaphysical beliefs. Even if there were no rebirth, a good life brings happiness here and now. If there is rebirth, good action leads to good results. If there is no rebirth, a virtuous life still leads to peace and happiness. And Buddha explained, Ditteva Dhamme Averam, like that. Buddha explained, in this very life, one who is free from hatred and ill will experiences happiness. This teaching gives freedom from existential fear, allowing people to focus on the present moment. So now I'm going to conclude my sermon talk today. I think you have a lot of information already I have mentioned, but don't think too much that. But think, I have mentioned religious freedom or spiritual freedom according to Buddha's point of view. Buddha say, if you want to get real freedom, you have to eradicate mental barriers first. After that, Buddha explains some theories to the Kalama. Then, if I conclude my talk today, spiritual freedom is the Kalama Sutta. That's the topic that I have explained today. According to the Kalama Sutta, spiritual freedom means freedom from blind faith, laying on wisdom, not dogma. Then freedom from moral uncertainty, following what leads to happiness and well-being. Freedom through direct experience, testing, teaching for oneself. Freedom from fear, living ethically leads to peace in this life and beyond. This aligns with the Buddha's broader path liberation, where through freedom comes from wisdom and meditation, like concentration and ethical living, ultimately lead to Nibbana, the highest freedom in Buddhism. So I think you have some idea. If you want to follow any religion, or if you want to be a spiritual man, spiritual being, please try to eradicate all views like your ego, craving, ignorance, hindrance. Those barriers came from your mind. That's the only method. First of all, you have to avoid all the things. They are coming from yourself. Then try to avoid plus that. That is the authority of your mind. Then, the Buddha advice to the Kalama, if you want to find out any good teaching or good direction, please don't depend on tradition, hairline, lineage, like that. Please follow the wisdom like that. You try to understand by yourself. And Dhamma has a good quality like come and see, like that. Then those are the methods that you can follow. And if you follow those theories, you can find spiritual freedom in your life. Then time has come to wind up today's Dhamma Talk. So thank you very much. Thank you very much for your participation. Then I'm going to transfer merit all the deities and departed family members. Then we are going to share, we are going to transfer merit to all the deities. Please recite Akasatta Chagummatta. Akasatta Chagummatta Devanaga Mahindika Punyantang Anumoditva Chiranrakkantu Loka Sasanam. Dhamma Talk is sponsored by Mr. Arulan and Ms. Bhagya. Then I would like to thanks and bless you by the power of Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha. May you be well, happy and peaceful. And Dhamma friends who participated today to receive Dhamma Talk, thank you very much for your participation, and may you be well, happy, healthy and peaceful. Finally, you may attain bliss of Nibbana. Now I am going to bless by reciting Abhivadana Siddhissa. Please worship. Abhivadana Siddhissa Niccang Buddha Pachayino Chattaro Dhamma Vaddhanti Ayuvanno Sukham Balang Ayurarogya Sampatti Sagga Sampatti Mevacha Ato Nibbana Sampatti Minate Samicchatu. Thank you very much, and may the Triple Gem bless you.